This individual, if they've failed a testosterone test, then chances are they are considered a DSD athlete. So they have most likely gone through male puberty and therefore would have that male advantage, which is incredibly, massive in a sport like boxing.
I think the Olympic Committee did absolutely the wrong thing by letting her compete.
Can this woman have a child? Yes, she can. Does this woman have a period? Yes, she does. So how is she not a woman?
She is being accused of being a man. That is the allegation that is being made against her.
The Algerian boxer was born female, was registered female, lived her life as a female, boxed as a female, has a female passport. This is not a transgender case.
You know that time when you skip school and literally everything has to freaking happen that very day? Meanwhile, on the other days, there's literally the complete opposite, like no tea, no drama whatsoever. Well, that's the case with me since past few weeks. I've been moving, having literally 2 exams in one day, an internship, and the whole shebang. So I was completely oblivious to what's going on the internet, and when I came back I was like, damn, I gotta talk about this. So today, my friends, we are gonna talk about the Algerian and Italian boxer incident that happened on the 2024 Olympics. But before that, you know the drill. Like and subscribe and get me to the first 500 subs soon, please guys. And also, if you want to support me on Buy Me a Coffee, the link is in the description box below, and let's get started. So as you know, the 2024 Olympics are going on in Paris, and literally every single day since the opening, there's just so much going south with this whole event that at this point I just feel like the organization itself is self-sabotaging, because how can you mess up so many times for an event that you had 4 years to prepare for? But I digress. So the women's boxing match happens, and Algeria's Imane Khelif was fighting against Italy's Carini. And since I've heard that the channels that show clips from the Olympics are getting strikes, so I won't be adding any of that here. So I'm just gonna explain what happened. Basically, when their fight started, Angela got hit by Imane and called for timeout. Then she goes in again, and after 46 seconds, she calls it off and says, I'm done. She was visibly uncomfortable and upset that the Algerian boxer Imane was declared the winner of the match, to which Angela cried and said that it's unfair. She said it's unfair because according to Angela, she has never suffered such hard blows from an opponent ever before, and she felt like Imane broke her nose with a single hit. So after their fight, there was this outrage from all sides of the internet saying that they let a trans person go inside the ring with a woman, and that the woke left has gone too far. Also, there are Imane's childhood pictures circulating where you can see that she's clearly a little girl, and people are saying that she's a biological woman. Also, that she is from a Muslim country and they do not allow HRT treatments, which is true. And also, there are some saying that this is exactly what happened to Serena Williams. People were saying that she's a man when she was so good at her sport. So to be clear, I do not care about any left or right wing politics, so I would like to tread lightly and address this from as much information as I could gather online, because hey, I don't know Imane personally, so whatever I say, please take it with a grain of salt. So first of all, Imane and another player from Taiwan named Lin Yuting, I'm sorry for butchering her name, they both were disqualified by the IBA in 2023 because they did not pass the eligibility criteria. And here's the statement from IBA after that incident. So on the contrary to what people are saying online, that they both have higher testosterone, IBA clearly states that they did not check their testosterone. So what did they check? They are very vague about that. They're not disclosing it, and they just say that they are not conforming to some eligibility criteria. They did not even specify whether they were related to gender or not, but they just disqualified both of them for some reason. However, as I have dug deeper into this, I came to know about the corruption that has been going in IBA for years. They fix matches, they pay people off, they are really dirty in the business. Honestly, IBA itself is not a very fair organization.
The International Boxing Association is a joke of an organization. This is something that even those of you who've posted pro Imane Khelif content appear not to know. Some of you may remember this photo from the Rio Olympics after Michael Conlon dominated his Russian opponent but was adjudged to have lost the fight. Conlon went on a post-fight rant in which he accused the AIBA of corruption, and he was proven right some years later when an independent report found that this was one of at least 11 fights during the Olympics that the AIBA had fixed. And there were many more fights outside of the Olympics as well. In fact, the corruption was so bad that the AIBA became the first international governing body that was stripped of its status by the International Olympic Committee. In 2020, the AIBA, now known as the IBA, appointed the Russian Imane Khelif as its president. Let's take a look at some of his achievements. He got Gazprom, the Russian state-owned energy supplier, as the main sponsor of the organisation. When other sports were banning Russian and Belarusian athletes from competing under their flags, he allowed that, and even went one step further by banning Ukrainian athletes from competing under their flags and national anthem at the 2022 European Championships. Kremlin opposed the independent appointment of referees and judges, and when Boris van der Vorst tried to run against him as president of the IBA, Kremlin simply had him disqualified from running. In 2023, Imane Khelif took on the undefeated fighter Azalea Amaneva and beat her. What was the IBA's response? They said, well, actually, we've just decided Khelif is a man, so we're going to null and void the fight and reinstate Amaneva's unbeaten record, and coincidentally, Amaneva is Russian. This is all so important because for those of you like J.K. Rowling who are out to get Khelif, you've seen no evidence, there isn't any. The only thing you are relying on is the word of probably the most corrupt sporting organisation in history, and that's just really silly.
Again, there's no hard, solid evidence saying that these two women have high testosterone. Literally nobody has the proof of that. Let's suppose they do have PCOS. I have PCOS, okay? Am I an athlete? No. But I did some strength training for a while, okay? And I was not as strong as a man as people are saying. Yes, it was easy for me to build muscle because a little bit of elevated testosterone helps. As somebody who suffers from PCOS, no, that testosterone is not that high that you literally become a man as people are saying. Then there's also people saying that they suffer from some kind of chromosomal sexual, disorder. Am I saying that's not a possibility? Maybe, but there is no proof of that. We shouldn't be promoting this kind of information. I have seen news outlets, many big YouTubers, big personalities spreading misinformation, just running with it and telling people that, hey, this woman has high testosterone, this woman has DSD. How do you know? How do you know? Where are the medical records? How can you say that for a person that you have never even met? I just cannot get over the biggest clowns that are saying that Imane has transitioned to a man. Like, be for real. In Algeria, really a Muslim country, as if Algeria is known for its pro-trans and pro-LGBTQ stance, you really need to go into her story. This woman literally built herself from scratch. She comes from a very humble beginning. She sold bread and picked trash just to make some money for the bus fares and to go to the gym for the training sessions and stuff, and she could barely afford all of those, okay? Her dad, being a Muslim dad, he was not allowing her to pursue this. So from being told in her country that she cannot be a boxer because she's a woman, now today the world is telling her that she's not a woman enough to be a boxer, and that's extremely sad if you think about it. And here's her dad showing her birth certificates there where it's mentioned that she was born a woman. I don't know, man, like, this is extremely sad how he has to prove it to the world, that and how the world is picking her apart when there is this individual who raped a minor and is now allowed to compete. And literally I don't see this much heat for him. I don't see people talking about him, fussing about him, like, are y'all okay with him being there? But yeah, Imane is the real villain here. Also, I want to say I'm very disappointed in Anna Hamori, the Hungarian boxer, to post this the day before she was to fight against Imane. Like, I cannot even imagine the pressure Imane must be under before this fight, and look how she greets her at the end. She's clearly traumatized from what the last time Angela rejected her handshake. In fact, you must have seen the tweet where there's this, and it's written that this is the smirk of a man who knows that the patriarchy is protecting him. Like, what? Please go and watch that video. Imane wasn't smirking at Angela and enjoying her pain. She was just there trying to console Angela. She just came from behind, pat her back, and then she went away. I'm 100% sure that she was just confused at that moment that why Angela was behaving the way she was, because Imane wasn't beating her out of spite. It's literally just how boxing works. You throw punches. Even when Angela shouted in Italian, non è giusto, which means that it's not fair, it's not right, Imane looked absolutely confused. Not to mention that Imane has been defeated by her female opponents 9 times before, so it's not Leah Thompson's situation. Now, as for Angela Carini and people saying that she did not try hard enough, well, she dedicated her fights to her dad after he passed away right after her Tokyo match. So I think that she must have tried her best for his sake at least. And also she has apologized to Imane and cleared out that there is no bad blood between them.
Ciao Iman, mi auguro che arriverai in finale e che vincerai le Olimpiadi. Poi, che dire, il resto...
Adesso il saluto che non l'hai fatto sul ring.
Vabbè, avrò modo di rivederla, ecco, io penso che in questa situazione io e lei non c'entriamo nulla. Tutte le parole che vengono dette contro di me, contro di lei, con me, con lei, io e lei non c'entriamo nulla. Noi siamo solo qui perché stiamo inseguendo un sogno. Non siamo noi a giudicare, non siamo nessuno per giudicare me, non siamo nessuno per giudicare Imane, non siamo nessuno per dire se questo è giusto o è sbagliato. Le persone che devono giudicare tutto questo ci sono e hanno le competenze per poterlo fare. Noi atleti facciamo, noi pugili in questo caso, facciamo il nostro compito. Il nostro compito qual è? Combattere, e l'abbiamo fatto. A me è andata così, Imane ha vinto e va bene così.
By the way, guys, Imane Khelif has just responded to this controversy and here it is.
والله نصارحكم بكل صراحة، الملاكمة الإيطالية هي تعرفني منذ زمان، وأنا سنوات وسنوات نزور إيطاليا في مدينة أسيسي، في القاعة تاع أسيسي وين نجي ندير تربصات. مغلب تربصاتي كانت في إيطاليا، وين حتى المدربين يعرفوني منذ كنت صغيرة في فريق الوطني، وكنت نروح ندرب عندهم. بحد ذاتها الملاكمة كانت تعرفني، وين تعرفني مليح، وديجا كنت ندير معها تربصات في القاعة تاعهم في إيطاليا في أسيسي. استغلوا هذه الحملة الإعلامية ضدي باش يأثروا عليا، ولكن أنا إن شاء الله نكون ضمن الهدف اللي راني هنا على جالو.
But also this whole thing just reeks of corruption of IBA, the casual racism, the transphobia, and there are just so many nuances to this situation. People are literally taking it and just fitting it to their political agendas, and it's just projections at this point. So that's it for today, guys. Let me know in the comments what do you think about this situation. Keep the discussion civil and peaceful, please, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.